Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Elite English Academy, the place where we learn real English the way people actually speak it in daily life. In offices, at home, and in stressful situations when your mind suddenly forgets the simplest sentence. Today's topic is moving to a new house discussion. And I want you to stay with us because this topic is not just about vocabulary like boxes and rent. It is about speaking confidently when you have to explain your needs, ask questions, and handle misunderstandings politely. Many English learners feel nervous during real-life situations like shifting houses because they think, what if I say something wrong and people judge me? Or what if I don't know the right phrase and I look confused? If you have ever felt that fear, please keep watching till the end because you will learn calm, natural sentences plus common phrases and idioms that will make you sound clear, respectful, and confident without memorizing long lists.
And yes, we will also show small mistakes, corrections, and simple improvements, because real English is not perfect English. Real English is confident, clear, and polite English. Good morning, Aisha. I hope you're doing well today, because honestly, my morning has been a little chaotic, and I feel like I have 10 different thoughts running in my head at the same time. I woke up early, but instead of feeling fresh, I felt like my brain was already tired because I kept thinking about what I have to do today, what I forgot yesterday, and what might go wrong tomorrow. Have you ever had a morning where you are physically awake, but mentally you feel like you are still trying to load like a slow phone?
Good morning, Allie, and yes, I understand you completely. Because many people feel that way when they have a big change coming in life, and the mind starts creating pressure even before the real work begins. When you say, my morning has been chaotic, that is actually a very common real-life expression, and it means your morning was messy, stressful, and not well organized. Also, when you said 10 different thoughts running in my head, you used a natural spoken style. People say this a lot to show mental stress, overthinking, or anxiety. So yes, I have had those mornings too. And the good thing is, you can describe them in English without needing complicated vocabulary.
That makes me feel a little better because today I have to talk to a landlord, a moving company, and even my neighbors, and I'm worried I'll sound confused or too direct. I keep thinking, what if I use the wrong tone? What if I forget a simple word, and what if they misunderstand me? Even when I practice in my head, I suddenly feel blank when the real conversation starts, especially if someone speaks fast or asks me unexpected questions.
Ali, what you are describing is very normal, and I want listeners to notice this sentence. I'm worried. I'll sound confused or too direct. This is a very useful daily English sentence because it shows two concerns at once: confusion and tone, and it sounds mature and polite, not childish. Also, the phrase "use the wrong tone" is an excellent phrase because tone matters in English. Sometimes your grammar is correct, but your tone sounds rude, so people react negatively. And don't worry, today's topic, moving to a new house, will naturally teach you tone, clarity, and polite questioning because these conversations happen in real life all the time.
I'm glad we are doing this topic because I'm actually moving to a new house soon, and I feel excited and stressed at the same time. I want a fresh start, but I also feel pressure because shifting is not just packing. It's paperwork, rent agreements, utility connections, and explaining your situation to people who don't know you. And the biggest problem is I want to handle these conversations in English confidently, but I keep thinking I might make small mistakes and lose confidence.
That's a perfect real-life situation for learning spoken English because when you move, you have to do many practical conversations. Asking questions, confirming details, requesting changes, and sometimes even complaining politely. Also, when you said excited and stressed at the same time, that is a very natural spoken pattern native speakers often use at the same time to show mixed feelings. And listen carefully, everyone. You don't need to sound like a dictionary. You need to sound like a real person who can communicate clearly and respectfully. So, Allie, tell me what part of moving is making you the most nervous right now?
Honestly, the most nervous part is that I have to talk to different people, and each conversation has a different style, and I'm not sure how to adjust my English accordingly. For example, if I speak to the landlord, I want to sound respectful and clear. But if I speak to the moving company, I want to sound direct and practical. And if I speak to neighbors, I want to sound friendly. But when I get nervous, I either speak too fast or too short, and then I feel like my message becomes unclear, and I lose confidence immediately. Sometimes I even avoid speaking, which is the worst thing for improving English. Because silence feels safe, but it keeps you stuck.
Ali, what you've just said is very important. And I want to highlight one phrase for our learners: adjust my English accordingly. This phrase means changing your language style based on the situation, and it is a professional phrase you can use in work settings too. Also, your sentence silence feels safe, but it keeps you stuck as a powerful idea. And it's true for language learning. If you avoid speaking, your fear stays strong. The good news is, you don't need to be perfect. You need to practice realistic sentences, and you need to learn how to recover when you make a mistake.
But that's exactly what scares me, the recovery part. Because if I make a mistake, I feel embarrassed, and then I start thinking, they will judge me, and my confidence drops instantly. Even if the other person is kind, my mind creates a story that I looked foolish, and then I replayed the conversation in my head for hours. I want to speak naturally, but in the moment I feel like I'm performing, like I'm on stage, and that pressure makes my English worse.
This is so common, and I'm glad you said it honestly, because many learners think they are alone, but they are not. Now, listen to the expression you used. I replayed the conversation in my head. This is a very common real-life expression, and it means you keep thinking about the same conversation again and again. And when you said, I feel like I'm on stage, that is also a natural way to describe pressure. It means you feel everyone is watching you and judging you. So today, we will practice a moving house conversation in a way that teaches you how to speak and how to recover without panic. Ali, I have an idea that will help you and also help our viewers, because it turns learning into a practical experience instead of a memorization exercise. Let's do a role play about moving to a new house, where we act like real people in real situations: landlord calls, moving company questions, and neighbor introductions. Role play is powerful because it trains your brain to respond in real time, and it builds confidence because you learn the shape of a conversation, how it starts, how it continues, and how it ends politely. And everyone watching, please pay attention to the phrases we use, because we will pause naturally and explain why a sentence sounds polite, or why an expression is common in daily spoken English.
Yes, and I like that role play gives you a safe place to make small mistakes. Fix them and try again, because in real life you don't get to rewind the moment. So let's define roles clearly. I will be the person moving to a new house, and you can be different people like the landlord, the moving company representative, and maybe even a friendly neighbor. And while we speak, we will also explain phrases like, I just wanted to confirm, or could you please? Because these are the sentences that make you sound confident and respectful.
Perfect. One more thing. As we role play, we will show formal and informal options, because English is not one style. It changes based on situation. So let's begin the role play. Now imagine Ollie is moving next weekend, and he needs to talk to his new landlord first.
Hello, good afternoon. This is Ali speaking, and I hope I'm calling at a convenient time, because I wanted to discuss a few details about the apartment before I finalize my moving plan. I've read the agreement, but there are some points I want to confirm clearly, so that later we don't have confusion or misunderstandings, especially regarding the security deposit and the move-in date. Also, I want to ask about utilities, like electricity and water, because in some places they are included, and in other places the tenant needs to register separately. Could you please guide me on what steps I should follow and what documents you need from my side?
Good afternoon, Ollie. Yes, this is a good time. And thank you for asking politely, because it shows respect for the other person's schedule. Before I answer, learners should notice the phrase "at a convenient time." This is a very common polite phrase in real life. It means a good time for you. Now, regarding your questions, the security deposit is 1 month's rent. And the move-in date can be next Saturday, but I will need your ID copy and a signed agreement before that. As for utilities, electricity and gas are registered separately in your name, but water is included in the monthly building maintenance.
Thank you for clarifying that, because I really want to be organized from the start and avoid last-minute surprises, especially since moving already feels stressful. Just to make sure I understood correctly, the deposit equals 1 month's rent, and the move-in date can be next Saturday, as long as I submit my ID copy and sign the agreement before that. Also, electricity and gas registration will be my responsibility. But water is covered through building maintenance, which means I don't need to open a separate water account. Is that correct? Or am I missing anything important?
Yes, that is correct, and I want everyone to notice how Ali used just to make sure I understood correctly. This is an excellent phrase because it helps you confirm information without sounding rude. Also, the phrase "am I missing anything" is a friendly way to ask if there is something you forgot, and it invites the other person to help you. One more thing, please inform me if you plan to move in during the evening, because the building security needs to be notified and the elevator booking is required for large furniture. If you want, I can share the building's moving policy, so you follow the rules and avoid complaints from neighbors.
Glad you mentioned that, because I didn't know about elevator booking, and that could easily become a problem on moving day if I arrive with a truck and there's no proper access. I plan to move in during the afternoon, but if there is a fixed procedure, I want to follow it properly so nobody feels disturbed or inconvenienced. Yes, please share the building's moving policy. And if there is a preferred time slot, I will coordinate with the moving company accordingly. Also, can you tell me how early I should inform security so that everything goes smoothly?
Sure. Inform security at least 2 days before your move and book the elevator for a specific window. Usually 1 to 2 hours depending on how much furniture you have. Now learners notice the phrase "so that everything goes smoothly." This is a very common expression, and it means without problems or interruptions. Also, Ali used "coordinate with the moving company," which is a professional phrase. You can use it in offices too when you plan schedules with others. I will send the policy today by message, and if you have questions after reading it, you can call me again.
Aisha, can we pause for a second? Because I want learners to notice something. When I said I hope I'm calling at a convenient time, it made me sound polite, and it also helped me feel calmer. In the past, I used to start calls directly like, "Hello, I want to ask something." I felt it sounded rude, even if I didn't mean to be rude. The small, polite opening is not just grammar, it's confidence, because when you speak respectfully, you feel more in control of the conversation. Is this why polite phrases are so powerful in spoken English?
Exactly. And I love how you explained it naturally, because learners don't need a lecture. They need real examples and real feelings. Polite phrases like "at a convenient time," just to confirm, and "could you please reduce tension?" And they create a smooth tone, especially in semi-formal situations like talking to landlords or service providers. Also, notice the difference between formal and informal. You could say to a friend, "Are you free right now?" But to a landlord, "Is this a convenient time?" sounds more respectful. And remember, you don't need to memorize everything. Just understand the purpose and practice using it naturally. Thank you for staying with us till the end, and if you found this moving to a new house conversation helpful, please subscribe to Elite English Academy, because we create practical English lessons that you can use in real life. Also, please like this video and share it with someone who wants to improve spoken English but feels nervous in daily conversations. Because sharing helps others build confidence too. And remember, your English doesn't have to be perfect. English has to be understandable, polite, and confident.
And in our next video, we will continue this real-life series with a topic that many learners request. Talking to a mechanic or car service center? How? To explain problems? Ask for a cost estimate and avoid confusion. So stay connected, keep practicing, and treat your English journey with patience. because every small improvement becomes a big change over time. Thank you. Take care, and we'll see you in the next lesson on Elite English Academy.